crowd control potential will be playing a big role. Again, Fredrin, super important as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
And now going into the draft, we see here Cambodia took out the Fanny and the Eve, while Indonesia takes out the Joy. That's their most banned hero from the recently concluded professional league playoffs. Can expect to maybe see a Claude taken out. And it's only be the Arlot. I think both teams want to have the Fredrin open, because if we're talking about how they want to maintain control of their jungle and keep their plan rolling, that Fredrin's going to play a big role in that.
And looking at the bans coming in from Cambodia, it seems like they respect the jungler coming in from Indonesia a lot, taking out the Fanny and the Ling. Despite Ling not really being inside of the S tier picks of the current meta, the Fredrin is still open. Indonesia can opt to take away the Fredrin. And blue side Cambodia, if ever Indonesia opts to not ban that Fredrin, they could potentially secure that Fredrin for themselves. But going back on that Diggy, we have to say that there is we have observed a visual bug to Diggy's lock settings and against passive ability, allowing the user to see the opponent outside its vision range. With that, we are going to see a global ban coming in for Diggy up until May 16. So right now, we are going to the first pick. The Fredrin is still open to take for Cambodia. Are they going to take it?
That's a hot pick right now, the Fredrin, but also the Arlot. You can probably toss a coin there, and that's probably going to land either one for the first pick. Blue is open, though, and there it is. So, interestingly enough, not much of an emphasis on Arlot in here for the blue side of Cambodia.
Arlot and Fredrin, both are still hot picks that can come through.
Yeah, Arlot and Fredrin could be locked in here by Indonesia, and I have no doubt they could definitely play this. We do know that Arlot has a very steep learning curve, but we're talking about the best women in Mlbb right now for Indonesia. So they might have picked up a few tricks or two, and I am going to wait for that Arlot and Fredrin. What else could we see? In terms of the gold lane, the 1-1 is the only ban, and there are still a lot of powerful picks in the gold lane as well.
There's a Valentina tied for #1 pick in Indonesia alongside Farsa, who should be coming up soon. Interesting. The Martis, not much of a focus in the professional leagues of Cambodia. So I'm guessing this is an answer straight to the Fredrin. It's basically just for the jungler of Team Cambodia to go toe-to-toe with the Fredrin.
That's an interesting way to approach the draft, right? Straight up answers. We're not really seeing the whole of the composition yet. We're not seeing any idea of how they're planning to approach this. Even with the Kufra, that's actually quite a beefy lineup for Cambodia.
Really beefy lineup for the side of Cambodia. And I love the smartest pick against the Fredrin. Though it's not definitely to kill the Fredrin, it's most likely to just have CC immunity so you don't get taunted or stunned while you go in for that retribution. What will Indonesia pick for their last or their third pick in the first rotation?
I really love the way that Indonesia attacked this. They didn't need to pick the Arlot right away because there's a glue, right? So you don't need to pick the XP lane immediately. You know that that's not going to be viable for Cambodia. But maybe they can pick it up here if they really want to go that route. Otherwise, it will risk getting banned out in the second phase. It's a Yuzhong!
Wow. They actually go for the Yuzhong. What can you say about this, Leo? Like the glue versus the Yuzhong. Both great sustained XP laners, but definitely one could be more powerful in another aspect, right?
It's less about that matchup. I don't expect them to go duel in the off lane much. What I expect here from Team Indonesia, from Fumi Echo, is to make a difference in those team fights. By picking up the Yuzhong this early on in the first phase, they're basically closing all the options for Team Cambodia to pick up artillery mages, to pick up soft gold laners. This is basically a warning shot. They're telling Team Cambodia, you better be careful. We're going to, again, close off the gaps. Melissa can protect herself very well from the Yuzhong. They're taking that away. Now you're going to have to play with the softer marksman. If you still even want to pick up a marksman,
I'm expecting
Cambodia might just pull the trigger and say, you know what, Harith.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play the Harith here because they picked up the Yuzhong.
Harith, honestly, I would say that the Moonox could even be a good pick here. We do see that they have a Valentina, but honestly, Lunox right now sounds good as well if we're talking about marksmen or basically gold lane that aren't marksmen. And looking at the bans coming in from Cambodia, looks like they're going to take away more gold lane picks. And Indonesia, both teams actually are taking off marksman off the list.
For Cambodia, it's very smart, or it's very risky for them to keep banning out these gold lanes because you run the risk of running out. And for the other side, you already have a Yuzhong that will disable, that will kind of discourage rather picks like a Farsa, picks like the carry, easy to really get into that back line. Like Leo said, it will stop your feathered airstrike immediately, so you don't want to go that route.
Honestly, looking at the mid lane, I would say that Lilia could be a good pick here. We haven't seen a lot of Lilia so far, but with the Kadita ban and the Farsa being discouraged by the Yuzhong, and Lilia has the survivability and wave clear to go toe-to-toe against this Valentina.
Lilia's good. I think if Cambodia has that in their arsenal, in their hero pool, might as well pick it up. It allows her to actually wear down the Fredrin. It allows her to engage with the Valentina, and giving over a Black Shoes ain't not much of a problem.
That's true.
So there's the Atlas ban. I think roaming for Indonesia has still a few options left. I think Cambodia just took away one of the bigger threats. So they're fine.
At least this is the way that you want to go, right? If you have a lineup that likes to go close, like the go melee range, the Glue, the Mortis, the Kufra, you want to stop these hard CCs like the Atlas. So at the very least, and with the Lilia pick, they might have a good AoE as well, but the problem is that's probably going to be their only damage, aside from who's you're going to pick up for the gold.
And they're going to lock in this carry. Great tank melter, and I think the Martis and the Glue would definitely not smile the moment they get that carry attacking them. And they're going to go for the Kagura, and man, I don't know what to feel about this Kagura. I know it's quite safe, but I'm honestly not sure. Like I feel like the Valentina is an okay matchup, but you can't kill a Fredrin with a Kagura.
I get you. I get the reason why you kind of winced there. The Kagura just, I don't know, man.
She's safe against the Yuzhong.
Well,
She can try to catch the carry. So I guess that's what Team Cambodia are thinking about. Now, Team Indonesia, they need a roamer. Where are they going? Where are they going to take this? I have to note, again, the lack of ults that the Valentina can take.
That's true.
Close to zero. Like, I don't know a
Moscow's
world
here.
where I want the
Tyrant's
Spear of
Rage.
Destiny. And there's the Grok. All right, so they closed that gap up. Because, again, there's nothing for us to take. What do we do? All right, how about we just have this one great engage tool and way to control the battlefield? Team Indonesia, great draft. Team Cambodia, I'd say it's solid, but I'm leaning towards your same sentiments here, Theo. I really don't know how their team fights are going to go. There's not a solid box.
Yeah, it's mostly a reactive draft coming in from Cambodia.
Very
I'd
reactive.
say like a lot of their picks were influenced by Indonesia's pick themselves. And again, this is just a best of one against between these teams rather. We have Indonesia and Cambodia. They're fighting for a point here. All teams inside Group A, we have Philippines, Cambodia, and Indonesia will fight against each other once, and whoever has the most points will be advancing. The top two teams will be advancing to the next round. So it's
an
very
SS.
important.
It's an SRR. as
What's
they
an
say.
SNR?
Single
round robin.
Great stuff.
He is correct.
You're
Oh,
not
wait.
wrong.
You're not wrong. You're
You're
not
not
wrong.
wrong.
And this just means that you can't lose games. Like honestly,
Nothing to give. No.
That's true.
if you get
Not
like
an
a
inch.
if you get like a 2-0, that's guaranteed to get you to the next round.
How much closer to a gold medal?
True.
And it's just so easy to kind of lose games, especially in the best of one. No prior data.
Yeah.
And you can be caught by surprise by a lot of drafts, the way that these games play. Looks like
Cambodia
we're loading
hates
into
us
the game.
now.
What?
Mlbb predicted
Oh, yeah.
Indonesia. But welcome to the first game of today's broadcast. Again, this is the English broadcast of the 32nd SEA Games in Cambodia. Looks like we are going to see Vachora clear out the entire orange buff camps here with no problem.
Did I not just say this, man? Folks watching at home wouldn't know, but before the show even started, this is exactly, I told everybody how Indonesia's going to play. They're going to come into your jungle, threaten everything you're having, and then go from there. And because of this, the first minute, Indonesia scored a solid, what, 200, 150 gold lead?
Yeah, it's actually a good tempo right there. And all of that comes from just confidence, right? Knowing your opponent very well and knowing their limits. And when you have that, you can execute plays like that. But so far right now, they seem to be slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, they have to slow down if they don't want to commit mistakes, and Vachora will be going inside the jungle of Indonesia himself. Chanta looking for an engage, but looks like they're just going to fight over that one green camp. And it's actually insane at how close this game is right now. They're respecting each other a lot.
Yeah, barely touching that area around the river. They're not crossing the river, which is interesting. Again, we all expect Indonesia to be more in your face, more aggressive, and they're taking the other route.
Yep, look at what Tith Marina is doing. She understands that there's not much vision on everyone else at the moment she started taking the gold crab. So she understands that even if it's early on, even if Indonesia aren't as aggressive, it's not impossible that there's always someone waiting in that small bush. Valnir could be there, Chini could be there, and now Turtle.
Oh man, that's going to be a big problem here. Vachora with the retribution going to be close here around the turtle pit.
Chanta.
Everyone is just playing around this Yu Zhong, so powerful in the early game. Vachora might be in trouble here, and that's going to be Serena making sure that her teammates rather, can make it out. Even survives the Appraiser's wrath.
A little bit of an oopski. I think Valnir may have been kicking herself in the behind because of how she put up the Guardian's barrier, but could have been so much better for Indonesia if not only for the aggression of Cambodia. They put Chini down so low that one of their main damage dealers in the early game couldn't fight back.
And I just love how Cambodia sustained in that team fight. They already got the turtle. They could have just ran away, but they knew that they could play for sustain and go in for a bit of damage. Though it was quite risky, burning the flicker out of Sreinith is actually crucial for Indonesia's success in the XP lane. I have to see what the Yu Zhong would do with that information.
That's right. But so far, the focus seems to be on the top side of the map. The dead lanes on the bot side will probably be ignored for the next minute rather.
And that's exactly what we said, right? Not much of a duel between Streniat and Fumi Echo. Talking about Fumi Echo in that last team fight, she was the game changer. If not for that perfect landing from the Black Dragon form and the Petrify, Indonesia would have been destroyed. So yeah, Team Cambodia definitely holding their own here. This might be a fight up top. Oh!
This is the wild charge.
No one home!
That was a little wild.
Yeah, it was a bit wild, but Valnir does find Vachora.
Yep.
Bit of damage coming in from the Mortar Coil in Cambodia right now. Still up by 100.
Or did not Vachora find Valnir? Something tells me Valnir's a little off today. Again, that Guardian's barrier, that weird wild charge up top. She definitely has to play a little better going into the mid game.
Yeah, hopefully we're not seeing a pattern right now, and maybe she can reset from that. Because, yeah, right now it's a little bit still toe-to-toe in the gold lane, which is definitely a good sign for Indonesia.
And Indonesia right now, they are still looking to fight over territory inside the turtle pit, but looks like Chini will have that Martis ult, will hold on to it. Still no big action just yet.
Yeah,
Cambodia looking for an angle.
The tankiness of Cambodia's lineup seems to be really, really enabling them to just dig deep. Right now, it's going to be Fumi Echo and Valnir in the front line. It's going to be a non-moving Yu Zhong forced to fly away, trying to get some shot essence into his body, but will not result in much as he does go down for first blood.
Valnir might be paying the price too, and that's another kill going to the hands of Cambodia. Vival trying to run away after securing the turtle, will be able to run with her life. But the purple will be the price to pay. Indonesia, they kind of lost a lot there.
At best, it's a wash. But realistically speaking, I think Cambodia came out on top there. I guess this is how you answer the well-known Indonesian aggression. You just put up a brick wall right in front of them. And for the main part, it was Streniat, Vachora, and Chanta who did that. Not much from Tith Marina yet, and not much from Rathiani, because again, we're waiting for the mid-game power spike of these core heroes. But yeah, no, even if Team Indonesia got the turtle, it was too little too late. Look at the rest of them. Valnir's gonna go down here.
Oh man, and ironically, it's Cambodia who's actually playing around with this wall, this literal wall right now that we have from Valnir, which actually is resulting in Cambodia enabling a little bit more aggression here.
Yeah, but there's a push by Chell, so I guess that's one thing that Team Indonesia can build back up on to try and win a little bit of the mid-game.
And right now we are still dead even 6 minutes in. We have seen a lot of objectives being traded, a lot of kills as well. Cambodia holding on very well. Even if we do view Cambodia as the underdogs against Indonesia, they're playing exceptionally against a very aggressive team.
I'm still looking for the good setups from Raffaele. I feel like I need to see these big plays, or maybe their lineup relies on these big plays for it to be actually viable. Maybe we'll see that later on. Right now, they are just building into the items for the Mortis and, of course, for the Moskov.
Yep, I think Tith Marina is going to be key here, and it's good that Cambodia have invested in her pushing that lane to try and get back from what Shell has done. Now they're going to be first to the scene.
Wow.
Sreniath, man, so much time.
Oh, Sreniath, it's a 4v1. Will not be able to survive even with the split. And that will be another turret going over to Indonesia with a little bit of answers here in the mid for Cambodia.
Fumi Echo goes in with the Black Dragon form. They're going to go for the first tier turret here in the mid lane, but nice taunt coming in from Vival. Takes down the Kagura. It looks like the Martes has to run away. No! A double kill for the Fredrin. And looks like the purple will be rushed here by Vochora. They're going to go in. A lot of mortal cold damage, but looks like Vival will be going in for the retribution as we head on to a very short pause. Indonesia coming up on top.
7 minutes in, Team Cambodia have had answers to what's Team Indonesia's best-known traits, right? They had an answer to the aggression. They had an answer to the early game damage. They had an answer to the invade. But right now, Team Indonesia have presented another weapon. I'm glad that we're going to be able to have some time here to try and understand and analyze what's going on. Team Indonesia may have gotten themselves back in the driver's seat because they had amazing micro. Rather, macro. Micro, it's fine, like we expected. These women are professional. But macro, wow, they sandwiched Team Cambodia, pushed down bottom, and then they converted into mid. That's amazing.
I think we saw that in the bottom lane, right? The Glue did not expect that much damage, and he basically underestimated the opponent. So that's why Indonesia, they came out with a free kill on the bot side, and they got more advantages after that.
Yeah, and the cross-map plays coming in from Cambodia definitely tried to even out the score. A lot of pushes coming in from the gold lane on the side of Cambodia, and then XP lane for the side of Indonesia. They did have a trade for the turret, but that mid-lane team fight came out really big for Indonesia. Fumi Echo going in for an early Black Dragon form to zone out a lot of people out of the first-tier turret. Then going to that big taunt coming in from the Fredrin as well definitely gave Indonesia this big edge that they have right now. The gold swing came from 400 gold from the side of Cambodia all the way to 900 gold to the side of Indonesia.
So there's only really two ways to play Yu Zhong in the current atmosphere, in the current landscape of the game. It's either you're early, again, to do that, to zone him out, or you're late. You come in as a late entry Yu Zhong to do some cleanup, and so far Cambodia knows that. I believe the Cambodia women's team, the Khmer team, have employed a little bit of extra help prior to the competition to get some extra preparations. So far in the first minutes, in the early game of this matchup in this best of one against Indonesia, it's showing. But how do they bounce back from this? I'm guessing that one turnaround in mid is going to be, I wouldn't call it a death blow, but unless it is, then that's gonna prove that Indonesia is going to own the rest of this game. Because, again, looking at their lineup, Cambodia is rocking a Glue, a Martis, a Kufra, a Moskov, and a Kagura. Unless a Kagura comes in clutch right now. Theo, Carl, you know, he was very skeptical about that Kagura. If it doesn't do anything much in the next 5 minutes, it's over.
That is true. I mean, I mentioned it as well during the game. I'm still waiting for a big play to happen, because that's the only way, right, that you can actually utilize a Kagura, where we're not seeing it as often. I think her assist is rather, I think, at 1 or 2. She's not dying, but she's also not doing much either.
Yeah, and it's, when you play a Kagura, we do know that Kagura is a very safe burst mage, and you do have that Kufra on your side too. So maybe they're waiting for that one big Kufra setup, but alternatively, they could be also waiting for that big yin-yang overturn before actually going for that Kufra. But into the game we go. It's still 2-4, 7 minutes in, and look at this. Indonesia is just owning the map right now, not even giving space to Cambodia.
Yeah, Raffaele, we need that play. That's the only way that her team can actually come back here. Otherwise, it's going to be Indonesia for the picking.
Wow.
Looking really good. Even Srianity right now just getting demolished by the shred of that carry.
Man,
My goodness.
it's going to be so hard for Cambodia to defend now. Indonesia went from the back. They didn't even go to the front door. Both doors were locked, and they still chose the back door.
They cut the line there, literally and figuratively. So now, Sriniat picking up the Kiras here. Not going to do much against Chell in the late game because it's still you're playing against true damage. Interesting pickup by Chini.
Yeah.
You know what?
You got to split that Valentina, man.
Yep, I get it. At least even without any solid offensive or team fight oriented ults, she can get creative. I'm guessing it's not a totally lost cause for that Valentina.
Going in for the split by Chantha. Kufra
Oh!
going in for the setup. Doesn't really go in for the ultimate as well. Gets a lot of damage coming in from Fumi Echo. Was it worth it?
That's a great entry, but the backup was just a little too far away. Maybe it could have been better communicated. We'll see. Maybe that was just a temp check, but definitely it's Indonesia showing that they have the damage if you try a play like that.
Yeah, they're going to go for Valanir. Chell is in the vicinity, and Moskov is nowhere to be found. This might be too dangerous for the Blue, and he
There
gets
it
stunned
is. It's a one-man wild charge. Srenat forced to split out of there, but looks like Kanta did not get the memo. Forces the flicker out. That's Indonesia with full
Vachora?
control of the Lord Pit.
Oh,
Vachora on the back
no.
can't even go for the 50-50 retribution. Will also go down to City. And there it goes. Indonesia coming out on top with the Lord.
2 turrets for a Lord.
Clear communications breakdown for Cambodia. The most clear approach that they had was Tith Marina. Tith Marina was just working. She was just doing her job down bottom. That's the best case scenario Cambodia can walk away with. But in that team fight, in the Lord Pit, man, they were of 2 or 3 different mindsets there. And it's sad that, yeah, not even thinking of a possible contest from Vachora, but she did buy time. So I'm guessing it went from worst to bad. There was definitely much more Cambodia could have lost on the swing back.
I mean, this is still just a level 1 Lord. Easily defendable by Cambodia if they're able to play their waves right. But looking at how Indonesia is setting up their push, all 3 waves are pushing together with the Lord on the top side. This is going to be a massive push coming in from the Indonesian squad.
There's going to be a clear on bot side, and also a 2-man defense for Cambodia in the mid. But looks like even that will be breaking down as we do have Cambodia focusing on the Lord instead on top side. Tith Marina, all eyes on the Moskov right now, just waiting for an opportunity to go for that free hit.
And Petrify is already available for Fumi Echo. This could be big for them if they want to engage a big team fight. But so far, they're still just going for the push here. 100 seconds till the next Lord. Are they going to stay here for long?
Yeah, I think Indonesia can afford to take it slow unless Cambodia leaves their base. And this tier 2 turret down bottom, this turret defense might be the bait.
Yes, could be a big trap here. Definitely some free gold for Indonesia. Once more, we're at a 4K deficit for Cambodia. The big question is Tith Marina ready to go for the fight if Indonesia brings it to them?
Oh, looking at the items, Leo, what can you see for the side of Cambodia? Is there something different? Are they really prepared for the team fight that's to come?
This seems about right, just following how the early to mid game has gone. You can see here Vachora actually not building the Hunter Strike, so she knows she's in a losing battle. She knows that she has to play the sustain game and that they're really just waiting for Tith Marina and Rathiani. Rathiani, a little slow on the pickup. Again, it's because she's rocking the magic worship, so she's really just wanting to stay in fights and keep going. Tith Marina, though, well, she's on her 3rd, 4th core item now, but with the way Indonesia's ahead by about 4K gold, I'm guessing she wants the 5th item. She wants to
That's
just
right.
go all in.
Yeah, and Tith Marina is not really that behind against Ina or Shell here. Just short of the 800 gold,
Yeah.
which is actually good for Cambodia. If they're able to protect Tith Marina, this could be massive, or they could even mount a comeback here.
It's like basically like half an item behind, so that's not far. So all Cambodia is waiting once more is, again, just waiting for the good setup
That's right.
coming in from Chanta, but Indonesia's just not giving it to them.
Nope, not gonna happen. Chanta had a hot early to mid, but right now 12 minutes, 30 seconds in, not as easy. I think Indonesia understood their approach. They understood the way. See, look at how Valanir just checks in.
Yeah, just go ahead, straight to the face, walking up, no special
Oh,
movements
no.
needed. It's Fumi Echo at the 2v1, and Chanta just going down to the power of Indonesia. The Flying Dragon of Fumi Echo forces a flicker out from Srenat, and that looks like that's going to be another Lord almost fully secured by Indonesia.
13 minutes in, Vachora still looking for an angle here. Could Mortal Coil all the way to the Lord bit, but he
Too early.
realizes that it's a little bit too early. Still half HP on this Lord. They're going to go for the jungler, and Vachora is going to go down.
Yeah, Rene, he has the umbrella, but just no execution right now. It's the one-man army of Tit Marina, and it looks like even that will not be enough. Chanta just way too late to the party on the revive.
I almost thought Tiff Marina could do it.
Nope. Call yourself a one-woman army, but the key word there is one. There's a reason why it's on front, right? There's just one of you and 4 or 5 of Indonesia. Yes, Chini fell, but you're still playing off of a goal deficit. You're outgunned and outplayed at this point. Indonesia, 7 kills ahead, 5k ahead. Luminous Lord, this might actually hit critical mass.
That actually hurt me, man. Rafeani had the umbrella in the middle of 4 people, but did not pull the trigger. I was waiting for it.
Maybe there's a slight miscommunication issue coming in from Cambodia, but Indonesia, they're yet to end this game. They have the Lord in the mid lane. Valanir could go for the big engage here, but looks like Vachora will be the ones to clear out the Lord. They still have 3 inhibitor turrets up for the side of Cambodia, but here comes the Black Dragon of Fumieko.
Yep, Fumieko looks like she's receiving the call right now, getting ready to zone it out, and there's very little that Cambodia can do about it. Even on the bottom side of the map, we will see that Vachora is also just trying to scrounge up some gold, getting ready for the fight. Chanta, again, stunned up before you can go for the set.
Rainy might just go down. Look at the damage coming in from Shell. And they're going to go for the push here. Bot lane, mid lane, call it dibs, because Indonesia will be able to take down 2. No wave in the mid lane, but they could potentially just wait for it. 2 people down for the side of Cambodia. Can they defend this 5-man push coming in from the Indonesian squad?
Dibs.
Dibs.
Coming in.
That's going to be a beautiful entrance from Vachora. A lot of people were stunned up, but again, no follow-up damage coming in from Rafeani. Even Tiff Marina right now, even with her items, cannot really slow down Indonesia. And that's going to be the ID squad coming out with a 1-0.
Massive win for Indonesia here, starting the day strong. 1-0 already in Group A with the Philippines and Cambodia. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the home crowd and the home team after that loss.
If there's anything that Team Cambodia and the rest of the Khmer in the studio, in the arena, where the SEA Games are being held, can hold on to, is the fact that at least they had a bit of the early game, right? Team Cambodia put up a fight, and again, when the tables turned, somewhere in the, 8-9 minute mark, that was the true test.
Yeah.
And I think Indonesia just knew better, knew faster what to do at that moment, and that's where you see their experience. That's the reason why currently it's undisputed. They are currently the strongest women's team in our esport. So with that being said, you're right, Wami. I just have to go back to the main statement here. Cambodia is not in a good spot right now because they're about to go up against what? Possibly the 2nd best team in the women's division against Team Philippines.
Yeah, Team Philippines, definitely, if not the strongest region right now in Mlbb. They have a lot.